Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by telling you that life is a journey. And on this journey, we meet many people. Some will uplift us, some will challenge us, and others, yes, others, will try to destroy the very essence of who we are. They will be disguised in many forms, charming, clever, and convincing. But make no mistake, there are signs, clear signs, that will expose the evil hidden within them. Today I want to reveal to you 8 evident signs that there is an evil person in your life, so you can guard yourself and protect your peace. Imagine waking up every day with hope, ambition, and excitement about the future, but as soon as you encounter that person, that energy is drained. You feel yourself sinking, weighed down by an overwhelming sense of hopelessness. Their words, negative, heavy, and filled with pessimism, seem to follow you like a dark cloud, overshadowing everything you once believed was possible. An evil person has an innate ability to spread negativity wherever they go. They are masters at bringing a dark lens to every situation, no matter how bright or promising it may seem. They thrive in creating despair, and what's worse, they make you feel like the world is just as bleak as their perspective. Every dream you share is met with doubt, every plan with skepticism. They'll tell you why something won't work, why people can't be trusted, or how it's always too late to start something new. They become the voice that drowns out your own hope. Think about the friend who's always talking about how difficult life is for them, how they never catch a break, how everyone else seems to be winning while they keep losing. At first, you may have listened with empathy, offering advice or a listening ear, but eventually it wears on you. You begin to feel emotionally drained after every interaction. You start to notice that your joy in your own accomplishments is slowly being stolen. Why? Because an evil person wants to drag you into their swamp of negativity. They want you to see the world through their dismal lens, so that they are no longer the only ones struggling in darkness. The truth is, negativity is infectious. It spreads like wildfire, and what starts as a simple conversation can slowly become a destructive force in your life. You might begin to doubt your own worth, question your abilities, and even second-guess your dreams. A simple chat with them leaves you feeling less capable, less confident, and more vulnerable to their negative mindset. That's the power of their influence. They pull you down without you even realizing it. It's crucial to recognize that the negativity isn't coming from a place of genuine concern. It's not the kind of advice that helps you improve. It's the kind of advice that keeps you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. Evil people use negativity to control how you see yourself. They want you to believe that no matter how hard you try, it's never enough. They strip you of your belief in the possibility of success, leaving you feeling hopeless, trapped, and paralyzed by fear. You've likely experienced this firsthand. Think about the person who constantly makes you feel bad about your achievements. When you succeed, they downplay your victory or criticize how you got there. They'll say things like, "It's easy for you, you have connections," or "That doesn't matter, you'll have to do it again to prove yourself." What they don't realize is that their words don't just sting, they leave a scar. They undermine your confidence, making you question whether you're even worthy of the good that comes your way. Evil people will never celebrate your success because their true nature lies in the desire to see you fail. They don't want you to rise because their sense of worth is built on seeing others fall. They can't comprehend that success isn't a limited resource, that your rise doesn't mean they must fall, but they won't stop. They'll continue to plant those seeds of negativity, hoping that eventually they'll take root in your heart, preventing you from achieving your true potential. Guilt is one of the most powerful emotional weapons used by toxic people, and the evil ones know this all too well. They are skilled manipulators. experts at twisting your emotions to serve their own agenda. They understand that by tapping into your sense of responsibility, duty, and care for others, they can get you to do anything they want. At first, it might seem harmless. You might think they just need a little help or they're going through a rough patch. You want to be there for them, to support them because they've done the same for you, or so they claim. But slowly they begin to turn your kindness into a tool of manipulation. If you really cared about me, you'd do this, they say. Or, I can't believe you're choosing to spend time with others instead of helping me. The subtlety of their tactics is what makes them dangerous. They don't just ask for help, they make you feel like you owe them. Like your love and loyalty are measured by what you can sacrifice for them. When you refuse to meet their demands, they use guilt to twist your emotions, making you feel like a bad person for setting boundaries. They want you to believe that your needs and desires come second, that your happiness is less important than their emotional needs. You've likely been in a situation where someone made you feel like you were being selfish for saying no. Maybe it was a family member who demanded your time and attention at the expense of your own goals. Or perhaps a partner who made you feel guilty for wanting to spend time with friends, telling you that if you truly loved them, you would always choose them first. The evil person in your life knows how to use guilt like a puppet string, pulling you in different directions until you're completely entangled in their demands. This emotional manipulation works because it preys on your desire to be a good person, to be loved, and to be seen as kind. Evil people understand that by playing on your emotions, they can make you feel obligated to meet their needs, even when it harms your well-being. They want you to feel responsible for their happiness, as if your own happiness is secondary or, at worst, non-existent. And if you dare to push back, to stand up for yourself, they will flip the narrative on you. Suddenly you're the bad guy, the one who is uncaring, unloving, or ungrateful. The guilt they instill in you feels suffocating, and it can be incredibly difficult to break free from this cycle. They'll use phrases like, I've always been there for you, and this is how you repay me? Or, I've sacrificed so much for you, don't I deserve the same in return? This emotional manipulation keeps you trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and guilt. Over time, you begin to question whether your feelings, needs, and desires matter. The more they control you through guilt, the more you lose sight of who you truly are. You begin to live for them, constantly worried about what they think and how they'll react. The power of guilt lies in its ability to distort reality. It makes you believe that you owe something to someone who's taking more than they give. It convinces you that you're the one at fault, even when you're doing your best. This is the hallmark of a toxic, evil individual, someone who uses your goodness and vulnerability against you for their own gain. They want to keep you in a constant state of guilt so they can continue to manipulate, control, and drain you. An evil person's ability to lie is one of the most dangerous traits they possess. But it's not just that they tell lies, it's the skill with which they manipulate the truth, distort reality, and create a narrative that serves their purpose. They are expert fabricators, shaping stories and facts to fit their own needs, making them seem believable to everyone around them, even to you. Lies come in many forms. Sometimes they are subtle half-truths, bending the details just enough to mislead you, while other times they are outright falsehoods. The evil person understands that deception is a powerful tool, one that allows them to control perceptions, avoid accountability, and maintain power over others. They can twist your reality so completely that you begin to doubt what you know to be true. For example, think of a friend or colleague who constantly tells you stories about their successes, making them seem like an unstoppable force in the world. But as time goes on, the details begin to shift, And you start noticing inconsistencies in their stories. One day they boast about winning an award, but when you try to confirm it, no one remembers it happening. Then, a few weeks later, they tell you the same story with a few more details, and now it's even harder to separate fact from fiction. An evil person lies not just for personal gain, but to craft an image of themselves that is far different from reality. They want to be seen as powerful, influential, or admirable, even if their true self is the complete opposite. The lies allow them to manipulate your emotions and make you believe in their false version of themselves. They want you to trust them, to believe in their integrity, all while they are constructing a web of lies designed to control your thoughts, actions, and decisions. What makes this particularly damaging is the way their lies make you question your own reality. Over time, you begin to wonder if you're being too harsh, too critical, or too paranoid. You start to second-guess the truth. The evil person uses their lies to create confusion in your mind. They craft a narrative so convincing that you begin to believe it yourself, even when deep down you know something doesn't add up. Take a moment to think about a time when someone lied to you so convincingly that it shook your perception of the truth. Maybe they promised something they never delivered, or perhaps they told you things about others that turned out to be false. Those lies chip away at your trust and make you feel betrayed. They poison relationships and create deep rifts between people. The damage caused by deceit is not always visible, but it festers and grows, slowly eroding the foundation of trust you've built over time. An evil person will use these lies to control how others see them and, more dangerously, how you see them. They want to make you dependent on their version of events, so that when the truth comes to light, you will question your own judgment. They will lie about their intentions, their feelings, and their actions to keep you aligned with their goals. And if you ever challenge them, they will turn the tables, making you feel guilty for questioning them. You may even find that in the process, you lose a sense of self. Their lies don't just affect their image, they affect your confidence in your ability to discern truth. It's not just manipulation. It's a violation of your trust. It makes you question your own thoughts and experiences, causing a disorienting ripple in your reality. An evil person is like a storm cloud that follows you wherever you go. Peace, stability, and calm are foreign concepts to them. And they have an uncanny ability to stir up drama and chaos in every corner of your life. They create problems out of nothing, inflating minor issues into full-blown crises. It's as if they thrive on the disarray they cause, feeding off the confusion, anger, and frustration that follow in their wake. In every relationship, there are conflicts, small disagreements that are part of life. But with an evil person, these conflicts don't stay small. They escalate. They manipulate situations, turning simple misunderstandings into massive battles. They twist words, exaggerate emotions, and cause tension between people who were once at peace. Think about someone who is always stirring the pot in your workplace or family, never satisfied unless there's drama. They will say things behind your back knowing it will create division. They'll spread rumors, misinterpret facts, and even encourage arguments. In their eyes, peace is a threat. It's too boring for them. They need the chaos to feel relevant, to feel like they matter in some way. If there is no drama, they will create it. It's common for these individuals to get involved in situations that aren't theirs to begin with. They will inject themselves into personal matters, offering unsolicited advice and making everything seem urgent and dire. Their need for drama can drive them to manipulate others into fighting or competing with one another, ensuring that they stay at the center of attention. Their stories are always filled with conflict, tragedy, and unresolved tension, because that's where they find their comfort. Their life is a constant cycle of highs and lows, never content with peaceful ground. For instance, you might know someone who thrives on being the source of every crisis in your social circle. Every time things are going smoothly, they find a way to introduce conflict. They'll subtly turn friends against one another, inflating minor disagreements and making them seem like betrayals. They act as if they have all the answers, offering solutions that only make things worse. They are never satisfied unless everyone around them is embroiled in some form of drama or crisis. Over time, you begin to notice the toll this takes on your mental and emotional well-being. The constant drama wears you down. You find yourself constantly on edge, anticipating the next problem they'll create. What was once a peaceful environment now feels like a battlefield. Conversations which were once pleasant and lighthearted are now laced with tension, all because of the chaos an evil person has sown. They feed on the discord they create, as if without it, their existence would have no meaning. They don't care about resolution, peace, or healing. They only care about perpetuating the cycle of chaos. They want to ensure that every interaction, every relationship is marked by drama, and they won't stop until they've completely disrupted the equilibrium in your life. You start questioning your own sense of peace, wondering if it's even possible to find calmness when this person is around. You may even begin to lose touch with the joy that comes from healthy relationships and productive work environments. Their presence alone is enough to ignite tension, and you may even start to feel that no matter what you do, peace is unattainable when they're involved. Jealousy is a destructive force, often hidden beneath layers of charm, politeness, and friendly gestures. When you're dealing with an evil person, you will notice a subtle yet consistent pattern. Every time something good happens in your life, their reaction is not joy, not excitement, but envy. The person who should be celebrating your victories with you becomes the one who makes you feel guilty for achieving anything. Instead of lifting you up, they pull you down. They see your success as a threat, not an inspiration. It begins with little comments, things you might brush off at first. Maybe they casually say, "Must be nice to have it all," or "I wish I had what you have." These comments seem harmless, but as time goes on, they build a pattern of resentment. What was once a person you confided in now becomes the one who secretly wishes for your downfall, who silently celebrates your failures while disguising it as concern. Have you ever noticed how an evil person reacts when you succeed? At first, it may seem like they're congratulating you, but if you pay close attention, you'll see the subtle signs of envy. Gritted teeth, a forced smile, or a delayed response. Their outward congratulations are simply a facade to mask the bitterness festering beneath the surface. They don't see your success as a personal achievement to be admired. They see it as a threat to their own sense of worth. What's more dangerous is how this jealousy seeps into every interaction you have with them. It isn't just about your achievements anymore. It's about everything you do that they can't have or achieve. If you get a promotion, they'll dismiss it, downplay your efforts, or even question your abilities. If you buy a new house, they'll comment on how it's probably too expensive for someone like you, trying to invalidate your hard work and success. It's their way of turning your joy into guilt, making you question whether you even deserve the good in your life. This jealousy can slowly chip away at your confidence. You begin to feel that your accomplishments are not worthy of celebration, or worse, that you should hide your success to avoid making others uncomfortable. An evil person will try to convince you that you should shrink your light, dim your sparkle, so that they feel more secure in their own darkness. Jealousy from an evil person doesn't just stay with words, it manifests in actions as well. They'll try to sabotage your progress. This could range from undermining your work to giving you bad advice that leads to failure. They will do everything they can to make sure you don't rise above them, because in their eyes, your success is a personal loss for them. The idea that someone else could achieve something they have not is unbearable to them. And they will stop at nothing to ensure that you don't surpass them. This constant jealousy is draining. It pulls you into a constant state of awareness where you begin to question whether every interaction with this person is genuine. Are they truly happy for you, or are they just pretending? The more you achieve, the more you feel the weight of their envy, and it eats away at your peace. It's as if they're trying to remind you every chance they get that your success is somehow undeserving. Their jealousy is not about you, it's about their insecurity, their need to feel important, to feel as though they matter. They can't handle seeing someone else do well because it highlights their own feelings of inadequacy. But they will never admit that. Instead, they will disguise their envy as concern or advice, pushing you to doubt your accomplishments, to shrink yourself, and to believe that you're no better than they are. 6, they disguise their hurtful actions as helping. You evil people are not always overt in their intentions. Often, they hide their harmful actions behind the mask of helping you. They know how to exploit your vulnerability by offering assistance, but that help comes at a heavy cost. Your independence, your sense of self-worth, and sometimes your mental and emotional stability. They offer you support, but it's always with strings attached. Think about the person who seems to always save you in moments of need. At first, you may be grateful for their support. They step in when you're struggling, offering advice, resources, or even material help. But as time goes on, you realize that every time they help you, you become more and more dependent on them. Their help isn't truly about making your life easier. It's about keeping you tied to them. They want to be the one who controls your decisions, your emotions, and even your thoughts. This can start with something small. Perhaps they offer to lend you money during a rough patch. But then, every time you talk to them, they remind you of the debt, using it as a way to make you feel obligated to them. They make you believe that their help comes at the price of your loyalty and gratitude, and if you don't show it in the way they expect, they make you feel guilty, as if you're unappreciative or ungrateful. Or maybe they constantly offer unsolicited advice, always guiding you on what to do in every area of your life. Your career, your relationships, your finances. Their guidance doesn't come from a place of genuine care. It's an attempt to control your decisions, to lead you down paths that serve their interests. They position themselves as the expert, the one who knows best, and slowly you start to doubt your own judgment. You rely more on their advice, become more dependent on their perspective, and ultimately lose your sense of autonomy. An evil person's help is never truly selfless. It always has an underlying motive. They don't want you to stand on your own feet, to think for yourself, or to make decisions without consulting them first. Every time they step in, they leave a mark, an emotional debt that you can't repay, because the more you accept their help, the more indebted you become. Even when they do something seemingly generous, their actions come with a hidden agenda. They may help you in a time of crisis, but their true goal is to make you feel small and incapable. They want you to believe that without them, you wouldn't have survived, that their intervention was the only thing keeping you afloat. They want you to feel as though your successes or victories are owed to them, to the point that you begin to feel that you can't succeed without their assistance. This form of manipulation is subtle, and it's what makes it so dangerous. You don't always realize how dependent you've become on them until it's too late. You might find yourself second-guessing your own abilities or waiting for their approval before taking any action. You might even start to feel guilty when you attempt to make a decision without consulting them first, Their manipulation has made you feel like you need them, that your own voice and judgment don't matter as much as their influence. Their so-called help is not an act of kindness. It's a way to trap you, to make you believe that you cannot survive without them. One of the most alarming signs of an evil person in your life is their complete inability to empathize with your struggles, your pain, or your achievements. While most people will respond to your hardships with understanding and support, an evil person will show no regard for your emotional state. They may seem indifferent, or worse, they may exploit your vulnerabilities to serve their own needs. Think about the times when you've opened up to someone about a personal challenge. You've shared your fears, your doubts, or your struggles, and naturally you expected compassion or a kind word of encouragement. Instead, you received nothing but coldness or perhaps even disdain. An evil person, when confronted with your pain, might minimize it or belittle you. You're making a big deal out of nothing, they might say, or everyone goes through hard times, get over it. There is no acknowledgement of your feelings, no effort to understand your perspective, no warmth or support to help you heal. But the absence of empathy doesn't stop there. When something good happens in your life, when you achieve a personal victory or reach a milestone you've worked hard for, an evil person cannot celebrate with you. Instead of being happy for you, they find ways to dismiss or downplay your success. It's not that big of a deal, they may say, or anyone could have done that. What they don't realize, or perhaps don't care about, is how much you've sacrificed to reach that point. Their inability to share in your joy shows that they are not there for you. They are there to serve their own interests, to keep you from realizing your worth and potential. Imagine graduating after years of hard work or landing your dream job only to be met with indifference or worse, passive-aggressive comments. You expected support, perhaps even a celebratory hug or a few words of congratulations. Instead, you hear things like, "It must have been easy for you," or, "Well, that's what you should expect." This lack of empathy isn't an accident. It's a deliberate attempt to strip you of the emotional fulfillment that should come with success. They want to make you feel small, as though your accomplishments mean nothing, so that they can maintain their power over you. The evil person's incapacity to celebrate your victories is deeply damaging. It is not just a lack of warmth. It's a calculated attempt to make you feel that your success isn't worthwhile. They feed off your sense of inadequacy, making you feel that no matter what you do, it's never good enough to warrant real happiness. This dynamic can be emotionally exhausting. You may find yourself constantly questioning whether your successes are truly worthy of celebration. You may even begin to hold back from sharing your wins with others because you fear that the evil person will just find a way to undermine them. Over time, this erodes your sense of self-worth, making you feel like you are invisible or unimportant in the eyes of those closest to you. When someone in your life lacks empathy, it creates a deep emotional void. You're left yearning for understanding, seeking validation that never comes. You're left wondering why they can't just be happy for you, why they can't understand the significance of your hard work. This constant emotional starvation takes a toll, slowly poisoning the connection between you and them. You begin to feel like you're never truly seen, and that no matter how much you give, you'll never receive the emotional fulfillment you deserve. An evil person's most powerful tool for maintaining control over you is isolation. They understand that when you're isolated, you are vulnerable. Without the support of friends, family, or other trusted people in your life, you become more dependent on them. They can manipulate you more easily, create an environment of control, and drain you emotionally without interference from others. This isolation often starts subtly. It may begin with small comments about the people in your life, the ones who bring you joy and support. Why do you spend so much time with them? They don't really understand you like I do, they might say. Or, I don't know why you trust them, they always have an ulterior motive. They plant seeds of doubt about the people you care about, hoping that you will start to question their intentions. And little by little, you start to pull away from those relationships, not because you want to, but because you feel like you have to. The evil person will then offer themselves as your sole source of companionship. They will convince you that no one else cares about you the way they do, that they are the only one who truly understands you. At first, this may feel comforting. After all, they're making you feel special, needed, and loved. But over time, this sense of care becomes more possessive. You're no longer able to have your own relationships or maintain your own personal boundaries without their approval. You may begin to notice that when you do spend time with others, this person reacts with passive-aggressive behavior or guilt trips you into returning to their side. I guess I'm not important enough to spend time with, they might say. Or, I was really hoping we could have done something together, but you chose them instead. Their goal is not only to make you feel guilty for connecting with others, but to make you feel that your loyalty should always belong to them alone. This isolation can be incredibly subtle, sneaking up on you one small comment or action at a time. But before you know it, you've pulled away from friends and family. You've started to believe that no one else truly has your best interests at heart except for them. It becomes harder to recognize that what they're doing is harmful because you're so deep in their web of manipulation that it feels normal to be isolated from the people who genuinely care about you. The problem with this isolation is that it makes you emotionally dependent on the evil person. Without a support system, you have no one to turn to when you begin to question their actions or intentions. You can't talk to friends or family about the things they say or do because at this point, they've already convinced you that the only person you should rely on is them. This emotional dependency makes it harder to see the situation clearly. You begin to internalize their manipulation, and it becomes harder to break free from the control they've established over your life. The isolation also makes you more susceptible to their constant emotional manipulation. They control your access to the outside world, to people who might offer different perspectives or healthy advice. In doing so, they tighten their grip on you. They leave you with fewer and fewer people who care about you, making it harder for you to realize that you deserve better. Isolation is one of the most toxic tactics an evil person can use because it distorts your reality. It convinces you that you need them, that you can't make it without them, and that the world outside of their control is dangerous or untrustworthy. The more they isolate you, the less you can see the truth about what's really happening in your relationship. You begin to feel trapped, and that sense of being trapped makes it harder to break free from their grip. As we reflect on these 8 evident signs of an evil person in our lives, it becomes clear that the damage caused by such individuals isn't just in their actions, but in the emotional toll they take on us over time. They steal our peace, cloud our judgment, and attempt to control our sense of self. But the truth is, we have the power to recognize these signs, to protect our hearts and minds, and to free ourselves from the toxic grip of those who seek to destroy our happiness and peace. It is essential to understand that recognizing these behaviors doesn't make us weak or paranoid, it makes us wise. It means we value ourselves enough to protect our energy, our future, and our well-being. The first step toward reclaiming our strength is acknowledging when we are being manipulated, lied to, or emotionally drained. It's about finding the courage to set boundaries, to distance ourselves from toxicity, and to prioritize relationships that truly nourish us. The journey of removing negative influences from our lives may not always be easy, It will require us to make difficult decisions, to face uncomfortable truths, and to rise above the manipulation we've endured. But remember, you are worthy of love, respect, and genuine connection. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. You deserve peace, you deserve trust, and you deserve to be celebrated for who you are. Let today be the turning point. When you recognize these signs, take action. Protect your heart, value your worth, and never allow anyone to dim your light or manipulate you into believing you are anything less than extraordinary. The power to break free is within you. Step into it. Live fully and surround yourself with those who see your worth and will walk alongside you in truth, love, and peace.